feel as if I am at home. And I guess this is to tell me when I need to stop. Get rid of that. This is when the time is up. I'm going to eliminate that. But I really do feel as if I am at home. We were greeted so warmly, and I cherish your friendship and your support. Some of you I had the pleasure of meeting at my district office in Miami a few years back, and some of you have gone to DC. Some of you have sons who work at the NRCC. Aaron, I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look him up. But how great to be here. I am joined by a valuable member of my congressional staff, Christine Del Portillo. Where are you, Chris? There she is. Christine sometimes works in our DC office and sometimes works in our Miami office. But if you have cards with you, Chris, and you could give them out, that would be great. Because I try to hide from Chris, but she always finds me. So if you ever need to get a hold of me, she's the one who's always with me and can find out where I am. I hope that I had the opportunity to shake every one of your hands, and I hope that I had the opportunity to give you my congressional card. And if you do not have one, please raise your hand, and I'll make sure that you get one. These are the best ways to get a hold of me. And sometimes, as I say, we're in DC. Sometimes we're in Miami. And in addition to being a member of Congress, just like everybody else, we have a family. And I tell you, I landed from DC yesterday after being up there for 2 weeks. We were on the healthcare vote, and I felt like all of us needed to be in intensive care at a hospital after those very difficult 2 weeks. But I landed at Miami International Airport, and the first call I get was from my father, who says, I'm not feeling well. And so I went from the airport straight to pick up my father and took him to the doctors. And then from the doctors, we had to call the rescue unit because he's 85, he'll be 86 next month.
He's a young man.
But he's a young man, and he's a historian, and he writes many books on human history. And my mom has got Alzheimer's, so took him to the doctors. From the doctors, went to the Rescue to Baptist emergency room. So he's still in the hospital, but he's doing very well now. And I have a lady to watch my mom. And I say that to you because sometimes people think that members of Congress, I don't know, we live luxurious lives and we have many servants and caregivers to take care of all of our family issues. But we're really just regular people, just like every one of you. You may have elderly parents and you may have ailments and family members who are ill. So it's an interesting job because you have to balance your family life, because in addition to being the daughter of my parents who are elderly and ill, I'm also the wife of my husband and the mother of my daughters. So we are real people like every one of you, but we have such a terrible reputation in Congress. We are probably, in any survey that they've done of members of Congress, we make lawyers look good. We make used car salesmen look good. They think, so it's a very difficult time politically for all of us. I think as a Republican, and this is not a Republican or Democratic issue, support for Israel is bipartisan, and you have strong support. But it's a good year to be a Republican, but everything can change in a matter of minutes. You never know what's going to happen next. But I love my job. I used to be a teacher, and I got my doctorate at the University of Miami in education, and I was in the Florida State Legislature for 7 years, 4 years in the State House, 3 years in the State Senate. But one thing that we were not able to do in the Florida Legislature is foreign affairs. And that's really what motivated me to go to Congress. And one of the issues in which I feel passionately about is strengthening the already strong U.S.-Turkey relationship. And that's been one of our missions in Congress. So I'm going to read to you some remarks that I prepared last night in the midst of my family crisis, because I did not want to cancel this meeting, because I wanted to tell you how strongly I feel about strengthening U.S.-Turkey relations. And I gotta be honest, the real reason was I wanted to eat some of the turkey. You know, as I mentioned that my dad is a historian and he writes books. One of the books, little book that he has written, is about our family history. And many people don't know that, but I know some of you do because you mentioned it to me. What is interesting about my family history? A couple of you said it to me. My mom's family is Jewish and they're from Turkey. Both of Sephardic, yes. My mom's mother and my mom's father, meaning my maternal grandparents, were both born in Turkey. My mother is a first-generation Cuban. I'm a second-generation Cuban, but they fled. They left Turkey and they started a new life in Cuba, and then now here in the United States. So for me, Turkey has a very special place in my heart. That is my roots. That is my culture. Those are my people. So my father has written a book that's in Spanish, but if any of you read Spanish, I'll be glad to share it with you. And he traces our family history of from Turkey then to Cuba. But anyway.